So there we have it, Wales 13, England 24. England get the win they deserve. They were by far the better side, but it was a messy game, not a classic. I mean, Wales can hold their heads high, the effort was there, they hit hard, but they really were outclassed in most areas, but they hung on in there, especially on the scoreboard. So let's have a look at this game. First of all, 5 minutes in, it is pretty clear that Ford and Farrell, the 10-12, is moving the ball so much better. And throughout the game, Ford just transformed England's attack for sure. Wales's defence was always very solid, they hit incredibly hard, but often England's attack would go through many good quick phases, either off 9 or off Ford, who moves the ball very quickly out of his hands. It was just too good, and England did make some decent line breaks. But anyway, England's kicking game in that first half was messy. They didn't kick chase that well, they didn't compete that well. They were pinning Wales back for sure. Wales couldn't really get out of their own half, England were pressing them, but it wasn't a tidy kicking game, I would say. Kicking for territory was fine, but the kick compete in that first half, not so good. Farrell missed a kick early on, and he missed a few fair, not easy kicks, but kicks he would expect to make. So Farrell was definitely off. Plus, with Ford looking so much better at 10 than Farrell last week, it puts a little bit of pressure on Owen Farrell. Not that he's going to be dropped, because we don't have any 12s anyway. And he plays a lot better from 12, which is quite interesting. Then we get the try. The first try actually goes to Wales. England are on the attack. Now, I think Ford Farrell Slade is just too many cooks. Slade tries to put a kick through, charged down by Bigger. It looked like a knock on, but actually it is a charge down. You can move your hand forward on a charge down, that's fine. And Wales get the length of the pitch and score. So literally from nothing, 10 minutes in, Wales are 7-0 up. So that's a turn up for the books, and that score certainly helped Wales stay in touch, a try from nothing. Then England get their own try, which is very nicely worked. More good movement of the ball. This time at Underhill. I think it's Curry to Underhill, then to Slade, potentially. Curry to Underhill. I think then it's to Ford. They break up the middle, then wide to Slade. It was a really nice try, actually. Farrell misses the kick again. What is interesting in England's try is Bigger definitely was tackled in the air, so it should have been a penalty. The French ref made some good calls, but certainly I think Wales will be aggrieved with some of the interpretations he made in that game. That was one of them. England win an early scrum penalty on the 19th minute for an early engage, and it was a bit technical, it was a bit messy, that scrum in the first half. England weren't dominant, but Wales were making some technical errors. I think they were just too keen to get into the English, and it just backfired, which is a shame. They'll be really annoyed with that, because I think they fancied the scrum in this game. Anyway, then a penalty to Wales, and Halfpenny misses as well, but his was from 45 metres, so not too much of a problem there. Then the first of England's many offside penalties. My goodness, they've got to try and sort that out. It's something they've been in trouble with in the past. Far too many offsides when they're not under pressure to get onside. Wales's tackles were causing problems there. On 24 minutes, lovely back row interplay again from England. But Ford gets isolated. Zammit does well, I think, to block the pass. That was a big chance missed. Another clean line break that England made. And England definitely would have wanted to have scored more points in this game. But like I said, Wales scrambled hard. They fought and fought, never dropped off their intensity. But yeah, Ford absolutely transformed that England attack. Sustained pressure with good quick ball movement was causing problems. They get a penalty from that, and Farrell does manage to convert finally to push England in the lead. They did deserve to be in the lead, but it is only 1 point at that point. England's line-out, another massive tick for this game. Very secure on their own ball. They win a big maul penalty off the line-out on 32 minutes. And they do make a mess of a number of Wales's line-outs. Really flustering some of their players. I think Elias had a bit of a torrid day there from that. Anyway, more good England running attack. Good Wales defence. Forces a knock-on. But anyway, then we get another of those technical scrum penalties on 38 minutes. So it goes to 7-11. Then just at the end of that first half, Wales have a good attacking opportunity in the 22, but a really good turnover from Curry snuffs that one out, so it is 7-11 at half time, so very tight on the scoreboard. Now from that first half, what was surprising was it was England's running game that was really impressing. They had a lot of possession, so we didn't see a huge amount of their defence, even though their defence was good in the game, but their kicking game was the one that was letting them down, so the difference there is forward. England's scrummaging was winning the penalties, but like I said, not dominant yet. But the class of England's back row was starting to tell. The Wales youngsters just not living up to the same quality from the England guys. This is kind of can be expected, I suppose. And England deserve the lead, but at this point incredibly close. Now, very interesting, at the beginning of the second half, Elias had a poor first half really, and then straight away he throws a very not straight ball. He looked really nervous because of the pressure England were putting him under, and he actually gets taken off not too long after that. And then talking of early subs, another scrum penalty, another technical infringement, and Samson Lee gets taken off the pitch 42 minutes in, yet not good at all. He was there for his scrummaging, technically didn't get it right, so he'll be just massively disappointed with that, as will the Wales coaching team. Anyway, England give away another one of their silly offside penalties on 45 minutes. It's another good attacking opportunity for Wales, multi-phase, but they do lose it on the ground. And then Elias gets taken off on 45. So again, not great for the front rowers there. Not a good showing. D came on. I'm not sure D did much better, to be honest. So without Ken Owens, Wales definitely struggling in the hooker department. On 48 minutes, England's attack is fizzing now. They're putting Wales under pressure. They're really looking good all game, ball in hand. 5 metre attacking scrum for England. Huge pressure. And eventually it comes from the big boys smashing over. Good defence from Wales, to be honest. But you just can't defend your own goal line for that long with that much power. And Mako spins over. 7-18, and that's looking very ominous for Wales at this point. They pour on more subs. They've made a lot of their subs too early, really. They had to do it, but too early. And then you've got England's power pack bench all still ready, fresh, ready to go. And when they came on, it was just against a tiring Wales, and it was another big impact from England. And then we have a string of more silly offside penalties for England. So this is probably their biggest work on for next week. Learn the offside rule. I text my Welsh friend, can someone teach the England forwards offside, or the whole England team actually. So 2 penalties, it actually goes to 13-18 within a converted try, so plenty of time. But England again, Launchbury steals a good line out from Wales and a good attacking opportunity. And then Willis comes on, interestingly, instead of Earl, but I think that's because he's going to the blind side. He's more of a blind side than Earl. And Willis actually comes up with a big play later on. Really enjoying it. On 64 minutes, Wales' kick chase starts to disintegrate. They're panicking a little bit. They're kicking and they really aren't putting any pressure on the England catches now. And it's just looking like Wales are just starting to flag. England's attack is good, but like I say, a lot of the time when they've moved the ball nicely, they need someone to punch a big line, and guys like Slade, May, they're getting knocked back, and they can really do with someone like Ollie Lawrence, who's not fit. So that is a problem, something I identified before, and something I think definitely evident in this game. Anyway, deliberate knock-on from D then extends England's lead that bit too much. 8 points is obviously more than a converted try. And then on 66 minutes, England start rolling their subs on a much better time to impact the game than Wales, who were forced to roll theirs on early. Sheedy's on for Wales. He takes a very clever, quick mark, tap and go mark off to Zammit, and they actually gained 50 metres out of that. So that was a nice play. And I think Zammit came out of this game with plenty of pluses on his name, attack and defence. Looks dangerous. You wouldn't know he was so young. So he's one of the Wales guys, I think, that came out with real quality in this game. Anyway, England continue to mince Wales's line out on 70 minutes. Wales just cannot launch anything decent. It's looking like it's slipping away. And then we get a classic Willis turnover with such a wide base with his legs. Wins the penalty, 24-13. It looks like it's all over, and that is indeed how it stays. Wales have to chase the game from now. Big forward pass from Biggar. England get another penalty, but Farrell misses it again. That was a poor miss. And then Wales are chasing the game. England make some mistakes. England get a line out, 10 metres out, but knock the ball on. And it finishes 13-24. So yeah, like I said, messy, but the right result really. Wales hung in there. The big hits, they made it hard. Like I said, they can be proud, but they were outclassed. England are just by far a better team. The England's back row are class. Underhill, Curry, Willis and Billy Vunipola, I thought, all outmatched their opposite numbers. Front row did well as well, and the forward impact of the forward subs I thought was big. Like I said, Ford transformed the England attack, but England definitely need a power back as well. They made a mess of Wales's line out, and they were very strong on their own, good in the scrum. Farrell was a bit off on the kicking tee, but they get the win. They move on into the first place playoff game and deserve it. Where do Wales go from here? Well, they just need to get more quality in their set piece, their scrum, their line out. They've got to start stringing better attacks together. The defence was better, but when you let a team with the quality of England attack against you, holes are going to come, and they did. So hard to know where Wales go from here. They've just got to keep going with these new players, and then hopefully some of those injuries will start coming back in. They missed players, I thought, like Navidi, Tipperick, Liam Williams, Jonathan Davis, and they were just a bit outclassed. Anyway guys, that's my take on the game. Please drop your comments below as you always do, and I will catch you next time.